When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
When Kanye West said that on national TV, the world lost its mind, in a rap game, it hasn't recovered since. The truth is, nobody's been able to replace Kanye, not for lack of trying, but because they don't make them like that anymore. They want the sound, they want the hype, but they don't want the chaos. And without the chaos, there's no Kanye. There's a reason every rapper with a little ego and a fashion line gets called the next Kanye. It's not because they're geniuses. It's because the rap industry has been suffering from Kanye withdrawal since the day he melted down on live TV and never came back the same. Kanye West is one of the most controversial, unstable, and frustrating figures in modern music.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
He's also one of the most brilliant. And that contradiction, that's exactly what the game can't replicate. Back in 2004, the College Dropout dropped like a Molotov cocktail. It was soul samples and conscious bars from a guy who dressed like a rich nerd and didn't have a criminal record. He didn't rap about shooting people. He rapped about being insecure. And somehow he made it sound cool. That was the Kanye formula. Vulnerability plus ambition plus chaos. Then came Graduation, 808 and Heartbreak, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, each one reshaping not just rap, but pop culture. 808's literally birthed a generation of emo rappers. You don't get Juice WRLD, Kid Cudi, or even Drake without that album. And Yeezus? That was Kanye daring people to hate him and still making it work. But after the life of Pablo, something shifted. The man who used to say, "I am a god," started talking about being a slave. The MAGA hat came out. The interviews got darker. The mental health struggles went public. And the industry, the same one that used to worship him, started distancing itself. Not because he was different, but because he was dangerous. Because he was unpredictable. And the industry doesn't like chaos unless it's profitable. So they look for replacements. Let's talk about that. Travis Scott was supposed to be the heir. He had the Yeezy cosign, the auto-tune, the visuals, the merch, the festivals. But Travis never had the depth. He makes soundtracks for mosh pits, not manifestos. Tyler, the creator. He evolved beautifully from shock rapper to art director. He talks about fashion and feelings. He wins awards. But Tyler plays by the rules now. He's refined. Kanye never cared about being refined. He wanted to be revolutionary. Kendrick Lamar is maybe the closest in terms of critical respect. But Kendrick disappears. Kanye was never afraid of the spotlight, even when it burned him. And Drake? He is the safer son of Kanye. The polished product, the hit machine. But no one's losing sleep over a Drake album rollout. Drake doesn't risk anything. Kanye risks everything, every time. So now the game is stuck in this weird place. They hate Kanye. They love Kanye. They hate that they love Kanye. They want someone like him, but not him. Not the guy who says wild shit on podcasts. Not the guy who tanked his brand deals in a single tweet. Not the guy who might drop the greatest album of the year or absolutely nothing, and you'll never know until it happens. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That unpredictability, that madness, that's what made Kanye essential. You don't get genius without ego. You don't get innovation without risk. And you sure as hell don't get a Kanye without chaos. The industry tried to replace him with clean, curated versions. They failed. Because Kanye wasn't a role to be recast. He was a cultural moment, a walking contradiction. The artist who could headline Coachella and say something that gets him banned from Twitter in the same week. He broke the rules, then broke the people who made them. He made hits, headlines, and history. And now that he's not the safe pick anymore, the rap game is scrambling to fill the silence. You don't have to like Kanye West. You don't have to forgive him. But if you're honest, you know the game hasn't been the same without him. And maybe that's the problem. Not that Kanye changed, but that no one else dared to.